Howdy friends, I'm Sydney. Welcome back to my Flock and Squawk. Today I'm going to be making a bandana for my dog and a matching headband for me using this beautiful 1930s reproduction fabric that I have from my stash. I found an infographic on Pinterest that I'll insert right here that gives you a general idea of how big to make bandanas for your dogs. I always called them bibs when I was a kid because my grandma's dogs she would take to the groomers, and every time they would come back they would have a bandana across their neck, and I always thought that it looked like a little bib. Now that I have a dog of my own, I think they are so adorable, so let's just make myself a matching one to go with my dog.
The supplies you'll want to use are fabric, an iron, scissors, a sewing machine, thread, a rotary cutter and ruler, the general idea of what to do, and some elastic.
Alright, I am back and my fabric is pressed. So what we are going to do is make a square by doing a fold over triangle.
As you can see here, I used a bandana as reference to make sure that my square would be large enough, and then I cut out this portion to make sure that I got 2 large squares.
Alright, so I cut my fabric and I have this triangle still folded. When I unfold it, I still have one edge that needs to be trimmed. So we are going to trim this edge and we will have 2 rectangles of this size. So what I'm going to do, just keep it folded. I'm going to fold it in half this way. So my folded edge is here. And we are just going to do the scantest of trims. See, we just took off a tiny amount. I'm going to serge all of these edges. So let's get to the serger.
Serging is a totally optional and non-necessary step, especially because all the seams will be encased later.
Alright, so I have the edges serged of my large squares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them right sides together. I'm going to pin 3 inches down from these 2 ends of our triangle. So from here down, across, and then we are going to flip it right side out, press it, and do some top stitching.
I am apologizing here for not including any ASMR sounds. I was actually listening to a YouTube video myself when I was filming this, and so the audio crossed over. I will try to remember to wear some headphones next time I am filming while sewing, so that way you can get some nice, crispy ASMR sounds. But like I said, I just sewed about 3 inches from one corner to 3 inches away from the other corner. Because you're leaving that 3-inch gap on each side, you're able to reach through it and pull out the fabric and turn it right side out. After I was done pressing, Sappho actually came up to visit me and give me a big ol' snuffle.
Alright, so as you saw, I just finished pressing, and now it's time for some top stitching. But you can kind of get an idea of how it will look, how this adorable bandana bib will look. Very cute. But yeah, I'm going to measure and mark a line 3 inches down where I stopped sewing, essentially. 3 inches down from this folded edge, and then I'm going to top stitch that. I'm going to also top stitch around the edge we just sewed and pressed. So yeah, this is, the product of me kind of winging things, but let's just get to top stitching. So I've done some top stitching. I did not sew a channel across the top yet, but here's what it looks like. It is a very cute, adorable thing, and we are going to, I got some wide elastic. We are going to get an idea of how much we might need, because my thought process is to put some elastic in it and have it sewn as a loop. So what I mean is these two corners, elastic run through the top. They're going to be sewn like this essentially, so it's one slightly stretchy loop. I don't know how well this will work, but let's, how long is this? Alright, so I've got two pieces of 21-inch elastic, and then a spare. Okay, let me think about this. So first off, we are going to take our corner and tuck it in. Nice tuck, tuck, tuck. So that corner is tucked in. This corner is going to be tucked in too. I'm kind of making this up, can you tell? Then we can thread it through. So it is threaded through the bandana, or our triangle. I'm just gonna sew and try this out, and then I'll explain in a voiceover, I guess, so.
What you want is essentially a piece of elastic a couple inches shorter than the length of your bandana at that longest fold line. And then you are going to thread it through like I did and sew the elastic ends together to complete one loop. Then I just adjusted the fabric to fully cover up the elastic, sewed a channel line so that way the elastic would not free float within the bandana, and then sewed the ends closed, kind of like you would with a scrunchie.
You're so cute. Look at you. You're so cute. Oh, sleepy. So there you have it, me fumbling through this off the cusp sewing little activity. It only took a couple hours, and I'm sure it would go a lot faster if you had an idea of what you were doing, but I think they turned out really cute. Let me know what you think. I'm definitely going to be making more and probably adjusting my workflow. You can't see her, but Sappho just yawned at me. She's wagging her tail and smiling. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I'm probably gonna make more, and I might share probably over on Instagram if I make like seasonal ones or like what other fabrics I might be working with, and you might catch a few in a video or two. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you flock and squawk with me again sometime. Here are some videos that you might enjoy, and yeah, thank you, bye!